Howdy, this is Matthew Pizgatti. Welcome back to the channel. I'm going live again because I was trying to go live earlier with the King's Riches Lottery to see if we had any tickets that actually won any loot. So that's what I'm doing right now. Earlier there was a little glitch with the chain link part of the contract in the back, and the developers had to wait for chain link to respond. So that's all resolved now. They don't expect that to occur or have this much delay again. It was supposed to go probably 5 hours ago. So it's a little delayed, but it finally did go through, and the round ended. Normally the round is going to end at 6 p.m. UTC. That's 1 p.m. Central for us right now here in Texas. So they're on round 2 now, but we can go ahead and check our tickets and see what we won for the day. Now again, this is going to run on a 24-hour period, so every 24 hours there's going to be another round ending around that 6 p.m. UTC time, and you'll get to see what your tickets actually came back with. So I'm going to go ahead and check, and we will see how this works. And I want to check out that part of the UI down there that was not visible earlier. Awesome. Okay. So I ended up with around 33 from the Fortress. I don't think I'm going to claim that just yet. That may be a little less than I threw in here, but let me see. Okay, yeah, I just had one winner out of the 13 armies, and that's why. Now, what's cool is that you can actually, it stacks this up here, so I don't have to claim all right now. I can actually click off of that, or after you check the details. You don't have to grab that right away. You could just you could look at your details. You could click back. You can click off. That will actually stack up for us. So I got one win out of my 13 tickets that I had. And if you look here, it's going to show past rounds that you participated in. So here's round 1. Here's the King's Loot, how much stake. We can view the tickets that I had chosen for that round and get to see which ones won, if any. Let's see. Was that the one I happened to click on, or does this show for all of these? So all of these that match 0, you can see that those are still on the ones that match 0. This is what we were talking about. We're sharing in that 0 pool with all other tickets that match 0. So everyone that matched 0 out of 6, each one of those tickets got 1.43 stake back. So now each ticket was 3 BUSD, which is around 3 stake on their native POL. So if you match 0, you're not getting your full ticket amount back, but that makes sense. There's got to be some profit for the house, quote unquote, in this ecosystem. You know, it is a gambling type lottery game. Sometimes you're going to win out based on the numbers you pick. Sometimes you won't. You'll have greater chance based on the number of tickets you get if you randomize the numbers appropriately and give yourself enough of a chance. You can see on this one I matched one number because it started with a 1. So I got 1, but I didn't match any of the rest, and I won 15 stake. Everyone who matched 1 out of 6 got 15.6 stake. And then the rest of these should be zeros, so they'll all have that 1.43 stake. And that's the breakdown. You can see the distribution here. I like that they're being incredibly transparent here after the round is over. You don't get to see how many tickets you had when you were in each. You don't get to see how many tickets were invested to start with, I should say. But at the end, we do get to see the distribution, how many winners of each. We didn't expect there to be any 6 or 5 or 4 really, but I expected a lot of 1, 2s, or 3s. There was actually only 1 with the 3, so maybe that's a lot more. Going to be a lot higher probability. Well, higher probability to not get it, lower probability to win than I thought it was going to be. Looks like the 0, 1, and 2 are going to be where most of the winners lay. But if you could match a good number of match 1s even, that would be great. You know, you'd still you could still do something with that if the majority of your tickets were at least a match 1 or 2. So it's cool that we get a little something back. And like we explained on the previous videos, if they increase enough from their starting amount for that round, if they increase, I think it's 10% over their starting amount in stake, they're going to burn off some stake, which I think is like 18% of that pool, which helps the value overall of stake. And remember, when you're buying tickets, you're essentially buying stake. with the tickets. They're using that to purchase stake on the back end, so that's also going to help with, well, the whole protocol as a whole. Quick note, since I'm live and I can go ahead and give you this update from the Telegram, they mentioned that the foundation will likely be down for a day, maybe two. Another update, they're just working on something on the back end, and they're waiting to hear back from one of the connections at one of the other integrations for this contract. So just waiting to hear back from that. That's down for a couple days at most. Swap had a new update today. They have added a chart. If you've seen maybe DRIP or some of these other sites, you'll see something similar on the swap page. So it's nice to just see a chart here. Hopefully they improve this a little bit. I'm not really digging the way it looks on the UI. It might just be because I'm zoomed in so far and they haven't tested it on enough different browsers. I have to check it out on mobile, see if it looks any better there. But there is a chart here at least, so you can track the last little bit. And the lottery is a really cool feature here. It's possible that even the majority of these almost 1,000 people that are in stake at the moment haven't even heard about the lottery, didn't know that it launched. A lot of people don't check these things regularly, so we should be getting even more participation down the line. The other big update I'm waiting for in stake is the team viewer. This will be really nice, so I can start airdropping extra stake that I have to members of my team. That'll be really cool. So basically that's been the overview of the army. And if you didn't catch the video where I overviewed the buying of the tickets, it's really simple. You just need BUSD. You essentially, whatever round you're on, you're going to pay with BUSD. It's 3 right now for one ticket. You just select how many you'd like. And then here, you can edit your army, and you get to pick basically a number, well, a sigil and a color, but it's going to be 2 numbers that you're picking for each one. And you get to edit these if you want to pick. If I didn't choose pick, if I just clicked the random one, I'd be able to just select, I would be able to start with a randomly generated sigil and number for all of these, and then I could choose them if I decided to. I could choose them and change them up if they didn't look randomized enough for me. And then once you have that set, you can just click buy, and then you'll approve the transaction. But you can buy as many as you'd like during that one transaction, so you don't have to do these individually. The first time I bought 13, you could buy 20, you could buy 100. You'll just have to spend some time, obviously, editing those. Unless you just use the random selection, you're more than welcome to do that. Probably just as good of odds as anything else. But if you want to mix them up a little bit, what I would recommend is if you're getting at least 10 tickets, that you change the starting number at least to be 0 through 9 is the strategy I've been thinking of so far, so that you at least get a match 1 on one of those. But of course, that means that you're only going to get it on one of them. So it's a good strategy to make sure you win something more than just a 0 match. But it's not a very good strategy if you have a good feeling about a certain number and you want to not miss out on multiple wins. Maybe that's up to you. You could also do that strategy with a larger number of tickets. If you had 100 tickets, you could do every 10 could be a different starting number, in which case you'd at least win 10 with a match 1. But if that's all you got and the rest did not match that number, then of course you don't get back. You probably won't end up getting back in that case as much as you put in, unless you also got some match 3s, 4s, or even a 5 in there. So there's a number of different ways to do it, a lot of strategies. End of the day, it's a typical lottery that you've probably heard of of any other lottery, just like your state lottery, Powerball, where you pick numbers and you're just trying to match the randomized number that they end up drawing. But it's a fun addition to stake to increase participation in the protocol as a whole, and with that burning capability to increase the value of stake. So if they get a really good bump, 10% of the initial pool, they're going to burn off, I think it said 18% of that pool if it grows over 10%. So that's pretty neat. That'd be a good value add or value boost to stake. So those are the main things we're looking for. Is we want to see this number of participants in the main stake. I'm going to call it the faucet. We want to see that it's almost at 1,000. Almost at 1,000 members. We want to see that grow. And then more participation in the lottery. Both of those things will really help with the price that we're seeing. And it did go up. It went up from where it was after the lottery was announced. So let's keep an eye on that and see if it continues to go up. And that's all I have for you on stake today. Look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Just wanted to get this live out here so you could actually see what it looks like to claim the tickets, or at least check your tickets. And then whenever you want, you can let this stack up for multiple rounds, and you can claim them all at one time so that you're not wasting the gas in the meantime. All right, you guys stay safe out there.